This was very, very impressive. Everybody, when you say everybody, it's like, yeah, right, but really, everybody did a tremendous job. The presentation was really, really good. You guys were really thoughtful. I took a lot of notes, and actually, there's a lot of ideas we're gonna actually take back. This was actually a really useful exercise for us, so thank you very much. But I tell you, it takes a long time to feel comfortable like presenting in front of groups. You guys did a really good job. Like I feel like you're way ahead of the game. And so actually, it's a skill that's really important. What you do. I hate to say it, but it really is important. Just feel comfortable in front of a room and just kind of articulate better than what I'm doing right now. Whatever it is you're trying to articulate. So you guys, kudos all around for that. Really, really impressive. And two different assignments. And I think the second one was probably maybe a little more fun to work on. I think it was a little bit, it's easier to have more fun maybe the second one than the first one. The first one was a little bit tougher, I think, and you could see that. So I think what we're gonna do though is go through, there was really good stuff that came out of everyone. So we're gonna kind of go through really quickly. I guess there were 10 groups, and just kind of give you the high level thoughts about what the positives we're gonna get out of each of them. Because there was something in each one, and then in the end maybe we'll come back and we have like little awards for like the best of the best, if you will. But so we're going to kind of just sort of rotate amongst us. So we'll start with the verification challenge. So group one, where's group one? Raise your hand. Over here. Actually, it's not easy to be the first group. Good job, get up there and just kind of guess. Actually, I think you presented. I thought the presentation was really good. You guys were very, very good. Really rehearsed and really comfortable with each other. And kind of handing back and forth to each other. The thing that I guess I liked the most out of your presentation was I think you kind of focused in on something that I think is a real need that we're actually doing right now, which is the whole brand identity. How do you keep that sort of premium, probably sophisticated look, but also how do you make it a little more modern, a little more relevant to millennials? And importantly, how do you tell the story even greater? So you had your quality coffee, passionate people, I think is what it was. I think it's really good. I thought that was really, really good. You did a really nice job of that, and I think that was a really good insight and a good recommendation. I won't go through everything, but I think to me that was like the best. Actually, I'll say one more thing. I think you had ideas across all different channels. You did a nice job kind of thinking about the Pete's business and how we touch our consumers, and you kind of hit a bunch of different channels to do that. So congratulations, really nice job.
Awesome. So go green team, Walker, Keenan, and Meg. Where are you guys? There you are. Awesome work. I think what we really loved was the simplicity and the clarity of what you guys shared. You guys did a great job of really bringing home the insight in a really clear, actionable way. So this idea that coffee is an experience. And then thinking about how do you use real estate that millennials and everyone are already using. So using the sleeve, thinking about the muffin bag, thinking about the napkins to really share that story in a way that would start conversation and in a way that would engage people without telling them too much. So we love that. Really loved how you thought through all parts of the experience, because it could have been really easy to say, okay, we're just gonna put information on a coffee sleeve and there you go, find it out on your own. But you guys did a great job of thinking through, we actually need to train the baristas as well. We need to open up these conversations. We need to think about what the information's going to look like and actually having that information on the website to encourage people. So really great job of taking an insight, really thinking about a simple, clear, and actionable way to bring it to life and doing it in a way that people are already getting information, right? We're already looking at our coffee sleeves, we're using our napkins. Why not add some more information to bring that verification process to life? And then really thinking through all the touch points behind what happens when you start a conversation. So great job, guys.
And group 3, starting conversations. Where are you guys? There you are. The thing I'll take back to the office with me, and that spoke to us really, was the way you framed new traditions in Pete's. And I think we're always struggling with the fact that we have this great history, but how do you make it relevant? How do you add something new to the brand, like a verification program, without losing what you're already doing? And framing it as a new tradition, I thought really leveraged what Pete's already has as a brand asset and made it really ownable to the company and what we're doing and enriching what already exists. So thank you for that. And then group 4, what's your coffee story? all over the place, great.
This word.
I thought you guys did a wonderful job of using this question as a way of really breaking through, making it instantly engaging, and attention grabbing. And we thought it was a really powerful way of framing a really complicated issue, but in a way that really brought it immediately and made it ownable for our consumers, which is always a challenge. So thank you for that.
Cool. And so then we have the Bean to Batch team. So Nikki, Kai, Tommy, and Max. There you guys, all over here. Great job. Really loved how you took the idea of what could be a really complicated verification process. It could feel a little bit inhuman, and making it something that was really understandable and really emotive as well. You know, you think about this idea from Bean to Batch. It's something that, as you guys shared, millennials would be really interested in learning more about. You positioned it in a way that felt very human, felt very engaging, so we thought that was great. And really thinking about, too, sort of all of the touch points around how you bring that story to life. We felt like that was really creative, and the team talked about how they bring back some of the ideas there. What else was there? And the idea around colleges and universities as well, sort of thinking about how do you make sure that you're engaging people who are interested in this already. You've got college students who are really thinking about social responsibility. Great place to start to look at that. And then also, this was really cool. You know, really thinking about how do you use this as art, and how do you use art and something really engaging to start to tell the story and get people to engage and ask questions about it. So there'd definitely be some opportunities to think about how you use the cup in a really creative way.
Okay, so for the second group, so our event challenge, we're just going to go on the Chestnut Street event here. I thought that was a really good one. What I liked about that, you kind of bring the notion of community and authenticity together in a really nice way. I like the fact that you're bringing your involvement in the roasters, and kind of bringing the people that are really part of the whole process. The musicians, the local artists. I think again that really plays the community thing really nicely. When you think about coffee houses going back to Vienna, in whatever the 1600s, and that was a place for community gathering and community events, and really rooted, locally. So I thought that bringing that out was really good. And I like the hashtag Pete's No Filter too. That was really clever, really good. So nice job.
And I think there's something really interesting there too, just to jump in
Yeah,
quickly, is when you think about coffee shops and all of these fancy coffee shops now, where people feel like they have to sort of change their persona when they're walking into a coffee shop that's a little bit more pretentious and fancy. The idea of no filter is really interesting when you think about the idea of being yourself, no filter, really showing up and being true to you, and being in a coffee shop that's true to itself is sort of something that's probably welcome with kind of the third wave of coffee and everything being something that seems a little bit pretentious, which I think we're starting to see a bit of a backlash to.
Okay, group 2, Plasma Pete's over here. People still Conan O'Brien, right? You got the Conan thing going on? He was in. He was a Pete's like about a couple months ago, and when I happened to be there, he was hanging out in Berkeley. He's like 6'5". But anyway, so really good. Like Plasma Pete's, really liked that one. Really liked it. I thought actually it was really creative. The whole idea of going to into 10 different socially responsible companies, which you figure if those socially responsible companies are probably people who are really key social media influencers and are into kind of basically I saw us going after the key influencers that we want to influence others. I thought that was really smart. The mantra thing, really liked it. Really liked the mantra idea that you guys had. In fact, it's funny because we're talking about doing the program in our stores like in November-ish, like around Thanksgiving. There's more about like turn your phone off and like connect kind of thing. But the mantras were actually all about, we might steal some of them. These guys I don't think they don't necessarily own anything. So, but I think that was really, I thought that was really clever and really kind of in a very simple way kind of reinforce the message you guys were trying to deliver. So, really good.
Cool. Coffee as our team. So, where are you guys? All over here. Cool. Awesome. Really great job around sort of bringing the insights to life in a clear way. I think you guys did a great job of expressing the need and what was going on, and looking outside of the coffee category as well. So looking at creativity in other parts of life and really thinking about what's going on with millennials on a broad level as well, and weaving that into an event. And great job, I think, with insight too, like it being really tenacious, and that behavior we talked about with grit of really going out of our way and really thinking about, okay, let's reach out to this guy on Instagram, you know, and get on Skype with him while he's in the Seychelles. So really interesting. I think it paid off in terms of how it led to an idea. So a really great example of how going to far places, literally for insight, can get us to some great ideas. So really interesting there, thinking about all of the levers around an event too, of how you get people to come in, what is the actual event, and then what's the legacy afterwards. So what are people taking away? Are they able to have things that they can put up on their walls and remember Pete's, or have a hashtag around it? And really thinking about that need to be creative and be in a space where we can connect off of our screens.
And then the Tour de Pete's group. So I think we all thought you guys did a really nice job thinking about the Pete's audience and really creating an experience for them, so that cycling tour would be such a fun experience for millennials to engage in. But then you brought it a step further and connected it back to origin, both through the coffees they were tasting and the bicycle donation. So you really closed the loop on that to make it an impactful, cohesive event. I thought it was really strong. Thank you.
Okay, real people, real people, real stories. Great job. I thought the social media component was really simple and really powerful. Love that idea. I think what you guys did really well is you tied it back to the source, very directly to the origin of the world source coffee, and I think you built that bridge really strongly for people. So it's very clear. Really creative, really simple, like that one. Lots of nice job. So you can see we could keep going on. I mean, but every one of these groups, you guys all have really good ideas, and I think what we're going to do is probably we're going to steal some. I think what was good about this too. I think last year it was a really good one. I think what's unique about this year is that I think last year the case was more. I think we already done, what was the case last year again?
It's college and university students.
Yes, this whole college university thing, and that was good, but we were doing a lot of stuff there anyway. This we've done like nothing. Like we haven't told the story. Like Pete's is funny because it goes back to Alfred Pete. Alfred Pete, like I told you guys when I was on, trying to get my head on this thing. He didn't really like to. He just assumed that people would figure it out. Like he didn't like to boast. He might talk about stuff. And that kind of continued that culture, and this is something we need to talk about, because what we're doing is really good. Not only that, but a lot of people are doing good things too, so we need to stand out and to be noticed. We have to be able to talk about it, and we haven't. We haven't dedicated the resources really to do it. We're planning to do that now, so the good news is we haven't done anything really strongly yet other than develop this TechnoCert program. You gave us a bunch of ideas, like brand new ideas that we can react to that weren't like, okay, we thought we tried this already, we thought of this, we haven't thought of any of it. And we have a team of people now, actually it was Matt, who you talked to, who looks like he's probably younger than you guys. And Matt is gonna, like, now and some of the marketers too.